So the real challenge in life is to really understand that you are part of a rat race. And once you understand that, then you need to know as to how do you get out of it. Well, it's very easy to know that you're part of a rat race because all of us are part of it, whether you like it or you don't like it. It's like rat which is running mindlessly and without realizing that there is no end to or there is no focus, there is no goal. Most of us are unwarranted in terms of being part of it right from the time we are born. I'm saying time we are born because before you're born, there is a lot of planning as to what you'll do. Nowadays, parents are that super proactive. So you have no choice. Then you go to school, the rat race gets that thrust because then the competition really is about doing better in terms of marks. Then the teenage sets in. You choose career. Again, society becomes paramount. And then you go to college. Again, material gains are important, salaries. Then, job that you take. Relatively speaking, you start comparing everything with your peer group and you try and possibly secure one, two, three, four, five material gains. And in the entire chaos, there is midlife crisis. And then you start asking yourself, what did you do? And you realize that you have no choice. You can't go back. And you are disillusioned by what you did because you didn't want to do maximum things. And then you ask yourself, what have I gained out of it? And then you tell yourself that I could gain nothing. But it's like an impasse. It's cul-de-sac. It's a blind alley. Now, how do you get out of this rat race? Well, Socrates, in his time, there was no rat race. But the sagacity of man would allow him to really pen down his thoughts about it. He said, first and foremost, know yourself. He said, you need to understand who you are. You don't have to really think about how other people will react to when you do something. It's more about you really, doing things with a lot of passion and love, even when you're not watched or judged. That is what is knowing yourself. And for that, if you've got to pause, take some break, no problem. In today's society, people don't want to take that break. And that interregnum, that gap is important. That's one thing he said. Second, he said, there's no point in living this life without being re-examined or without being examined. So there have to be a lot of checks and balances, a lot of litmus tests, questions. You have to be interrogated by yourself, whether it's worth it or not. For whom am I doing it? Reflections are important at any age of any point of time. Third, he in his own style, he would ask people to ask. So you ask yourself, what are you trying to gain out of it? What are the positives and negatives? Are you meant for what you're doing? Or there's something else that you wanted to do? And then I'm reminded of this legendary cricketer called Yuvraj Singh. For years, when he was at his pinnacle of the career, he was not happy at all. And one fine day, he actually disclosed it to people that I wanted to be somebody else, a roller skater. I was a national level champion, gold medalist, but my father said, it's worthless, it's futile. Go for cricket, there's glory, there's so much of fame, and you'll be able to attain success. He never wanted to. Today, we can actually look back, or he can look back and can say that most of his problems stem from his inability to stand for his own cause. And that's where Socrates said, fourth, he said, it's important for you to make sure that you interrogate yourself. You definitely examine everything. And then you try and possibly, take the bull by horn. And then you challenge yourself. And that is where Socrates made a big difference in terms of discovering yourself, in terms of knowing yourself, in terms of not being part of this, mindless rat race. There are so many people who are trying to understand that now. In contemporary society, there are other virtues also. You've got to go for digital detox. It's important for you not to get completely intimidated by the onslaught of social media technology. It's important for people to at times hibernate. That works well. Then it's important for people to really know that there's a big difference between growth and comparison. It's important to focus on growth rather than comparing yourself always, slotting yourself always. That works well. Then a pretty important aspect, and even Socrates endorsed that. The philosophy of fire, financial independence, retire early. You've got to gain that financial independence. People do that, they work hard, 30, 35, and after that, you've got to really ask yourself, for whom are you working so hard? For how long will you actually keep chasing this illusion? And then you stop, retire early. When I say retire early, it doesn't mean you stop working, but you start chasing what you love doing the most, your passion. You really enjoy doing whatever. It could be mountaineering. You don't have to really always chalk out your career. It's important for you to chalk out your life. It works well. When you chalk out your life, then you have time for your hobbies, your passion. You have that time for pause. You have time for self-reflection. You have time for small things in life which really make you happy. This is how you can actually get out of this rat race, because ultimately this rat race is a race that you are running for somebody else. And that question you've got to ask, whose race is this? Is it mine or somebody else's dream? Once you do that, nothing's stopping, I can tell you. This is how I believe today's generation can get out of this rat race. Otherwise, depression, gloom, sadness, possible isolation, and then a complete blind alley. That is where most of the youth is mired into right now. And mental health has really become a paramount issue. It has to be addressed primarily because of being part of this rat race. You've got to get out, and the sooner you do it, the better it is. That's how I look at it.